Welcome to White River Valley Electric Cooperative's 87th Annual Meeting of Members. We're glad you're here because we're celebrating the red, white, and you. Let's go live to our headquarters in Branson.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for White River Valley Electric Cooperative's 87th Annual Meeting. In the spirit of America 250, we've been celebrating red, white, and you, our members, all year long. And we're excited to continue that celebration with you today. We have a great program ahead. You'll hear updates from our board president and vice president, hear parting words from our retiring CEO, meet the next leader who will take the helm at White River, and of course, get the live results of this year's director election and bylaw votes. And speaking of voting, thank you to everyone who made your voice heard. Every year, members who voted get a $10 bill credit, and your name was entered to win into a drawing for one of 10 $250 gift cards. And we'll be announcing those lucky winners throughout today's meeting. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. But voting isn't the only way you've been part of today's program. Each year, beginning in May, we'll take our annual meeting experience on the road with member appreciation days at each of our 5 district offices. It gives us an opportunity to meet you where you are, introduce you to the employees and leaders serving your area. We share a meal, and most importantly, have conversations and hear directly from you. Many of you have submitted questions during those events, and throughout today's program, we'll have subject matter experts from across the co-op answering several of those questions live. You've also helped us celebrate America's 250th by sharing some special birthday shout-outs. So you'll see a few familiar faces from across White River country throughout the show. This format is something our members have told us they value. Rather than asking thousands of members to travel to one large meeting in Branson, our 5 member appreciation days bring White River closer to you, while today's live stream gives everyone the opportunity to participate from where they are. It's more convenient, more cost-effective for the co-op, and based on your feedback, the way most of you have asked us to continue. We have a lot to celebrate and a lot to cover. Let's get to it. We always ask our Youth Tour winners to join us in kicking off the meeting. Amaria Wells from Ozark High School and Ariana Baker from Nixa will lead the pledge. Then Molly Leininger from Nixa will lead us in prayer. But it only seemed fitting this year to start with the national anthem. After all, we couldn't celebrate America's 250th without it.
Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Molly will lead the prayer.
If you could all bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and for once again blessing us with this opportunity to build our community as we come together for this year's annual meeting. We thank you for giving strength and protection to the linemen and staff who give power to our homes and everyone who works so diligently to better our community in your name. We ask that you bless us with your almighty wisdom and insight in the decisions and discussions in today's meeting. We pray that every decision is made to honor you and that we cast any worry or doubt onto you and trust your guidance. Heavenly Father, we pray that you continue to give our people the ability to flourish and grow under your protection and that we continue to build a future that honors you and this community. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
We're proud to call this country home, and we're especially grateful for the veterans, active duty military, first responders, and all those who serve and sacrifice to protect the freedoms we enjoy. And another thank you to our Youth Tour delegates for helping get us things started today. And now Youth Tour is one of the ways White River invests in the next generation. Through programs like Youth Tour, Cycle, Generation Power, we give area students opportunities to develop leadership skills. They experience the cooperative difference and then see firsthand the value of working together. We're proud to play a small part in developing the leaders of tomorrow. You can learn more about all our youth programs at whiteriver.org. And with that, it's time to make it official. I'll invite the Cooperative's General Counsel to call our 87th annual meeting to order.
Thank you, Cassie. According to our bylaws, we need approximately 400 voting members to establish quorum for annual meeting. With 2,611 votes cast this year, we have easily met our quorum requirement. On behalf of the Board of Directors, it's my privilege to call our 87th annual meeting to order.
Thanks, Christian. At Member Appreciation Days this year, we heard from many members across the 5 counties we serve, and we've had a great time celebrating Red, White, and You, our members, and America 250. We'll be sharing some of those celebrations and answering more questions during the meeting today. We'll roll a few questions and then be joined with subject matter experts across the co-op to answer them. Let's grab our first group of questions.
My question is, as a member owner, how can I influence decisions or policies?
I'd like to know how White River is governed.
Joining us for our first round of questions, I have Jamie Dopp, Manager of Marketing and Communications, Shelby Novak, Public Relations Coordinator, and Nathan Stearns, Community Programs Coordinator. Now, Jamie, Chris from Branson asked us how members influence decisions. Tell us about that.
Well, as you know, one of the things that makes a cooperative special is that our members are owners, and they have a democratic vote in how our business is ran. Members vote for our board of directors who oversee our policies, our rates, and our long-term goals. And also, members have an opportunity to run for a board seat when they see our call for directors. So we encourage all qualified members to do that. As well as voting in this annual meeting, they've influenced our board decisions.
And that call for board nominations goes out in the rural Missouri every May. We always have 3 board seats open for a vote, and we had 3 bylaw amendments this year as well. We appreciate each of our members taking the time to read the information we send out, right? So they are informed before casting ballots. We are member focused. That means that members' needs come first. So we really rely on member input, whether that's participating in events and elections, visiting with us there, giving feedback through surveys, whatever it may be. These are all ways that members can influence decisions. So Joyce asked about governance. Shelby, what do they need to know?
Absolutely. It's a really great question. Just like Jamie said, you said, we are member-owned. We're not like an investor-owned utility. We're not owned by investors or shareholders. We're owned by our members. Our members elect our board of directors. At White River, we have 9 board of directors, and they're amazing. They oversee all of our major decisions here. They also oversee executive leadership, rates, finances, things like that. But they're not so much in the day-to-day stuff. That's for the CEO. So the board hires our CEO. We've been lucky to have Chris, and now we're getting Bo. And we're really just blessed for them to pick somebody to oversee our day-to-day operations. We can trust employees here. That's super important to us. But it's such a well-oiled machine, but at the heart of it all, it's just our members. Like,
the
we're
members.
so lucky here at White River for our members.
And that's why we're here, right?
Exactly.
And I mean, it's special to be part of an organization where board members and employees alike, they're engaged and genuinely care about the members at the end of the line. Great, let's grab another question.
How does White River use Operation Roundup funds?
Okay, Nathan, you facilitate the Operation Roundup program with our trust board. Help us with that one.
Yeah, so every single month, 95% of our membership rounds their bill up to the nearest dollar. And what that equates to is, on an annual basis, an average of just $6 or less. Could max out at about $11.89 or so.
Change.
Yeah, but every single one of those pennies is rounded up and collected by the program Operation Roundup. That Operation Roundup program then funds everything that the White River Valley Electric Trust does in our community. So many people don't know, but the trust is the actual third organization here at the co-op. And that board is comprised of 9 members from the same footprint as the cooperative, and they oversee grants and scholarships that impact local students, local teachers, and then even some of our members that fall into a part-time hardship. Since 1992, we've been able to give back more than $6 million back to our 5 counties. So it's a really impactful job that is done there.
And you made a good point. For pennies, we can give back millions to the communities
That's
that we
correct.
serve. And commitment to community is one of our founding principles. And being an active part in our communities, it's part of who we are, right? We have many programs to give back, from Operation Roundup to Share the Harvest, our food drive that kicks off every year in October, so we've got that coming up. We love partnering to support the communities we serve. You can visit our website under the community section for more details. So thank you to Chris, Joyce, and John for your questions, and thank you 3 for helping us answer them. We've talked a lot about your rights as a member and making your voice heard. Remember, this year you'll receive a $10 bill credit for voting, and that's going to show up in the next month or 2 depending on your billing cycle. And then voting members were also registered to win one of 10 $250 gift cards, and we'll announce those throughout the meeting today. Up next, we'll hear some birthday shout outs to our great nation, grab our first group of prize winners, then we'll hear from our board president and be right back for our next group of questions about internet service.
Happy 250th birthday, America.
Happy birthday, America. We're proud to be Americans.
God bless the USA.
Happy 250th birthday, United States of America. Yay!
Thanks for taking the time to vote. Congratulations to Robert LaCour of Ridgedale, Steve Young of Branson, and James Mucklestone of Gainesville. You've won a $250 prepaid MasterCard gift card. More winners are coming up soon.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for White River Valley Electric Cooperative's annual meeting. On behalf of your board of directors, thank you for your participation, and most importantly, for the trust you place in us to represent you. One of the things that makes an electric cooperative different is that the people we serve are also the people who own it. Your board is elected from this membership, and our responsibility is to make decisions with the long-term interest of our members and this cooperative in mind. That requires us to look beyond today and continually ask, are we making the right decisions to keep this cooperative strong for the next generation? Over the past year, your board has remained focused on several priorities. Fundamental to that responsibility, first and foremost, is safety. Our employees work around electricity, heavy equipment, traffic, difficult terrain, severe weather, and many other hazards every day. As our operations have expanded to include both fiber and electric infrastructure, ensuring every employee goes home safely remains our highest priority. We continue to support the training, equipment, and the processes and accountability necessary to strengthen our safety culture. We've also remained focused on the financial strength of your cooperative. Our industry is changing, and the cost of providing electric service continues to be affected by factors well beyond our local system. At the same time, we must maintain our infrastructure plan for future power needs and invest responsibly. As a board, we must look beyond what something costs today and understand its long-term impact, balancing affordability and reliability with necessary investment and the future needs of our membership. That same long-term perspective is guiding our work with White River Connect. Bringing broadband to our communities was a significant undertaking, and we're proud of the progress that has been made. As the initial build-out comes to a close, our focus is evolving from building the network to ensuring we operate it successfully and strategically for the long term. Your board continues to evaluate opportunities for greater alignment between our electric and fiber operations. Where it makes sense, working more closely together can create efficiencies, improve coordination, and strengthen both divisions. Whether we're talking about electric or fiber, our expectation is the same: thoughtful planning, financial discipline, operational accountability, and high-quality service. Another important responsibility of the board is planning beyond any one year or any one leader. That became especially meaningful this year as we prepared for the retirement of our CEO, Chris Hammond, after 40 years of service at this cooperative. Chris has devoted his career to White River Valley Electric and the members we serve. On behalf of the board, I want to thank him for his leadership, his commitment, and the strong foundation he leaves behind. His retirement also gave your board one of its most important responsibilities: selecting the next leader of this cooperative. Following a thorough multi-state search, we selected Bo Jackson as our next CEO. Bo has a deep understanding of this organization through his leadership in engineering and most recently White River Connect. The board believes he has the leadership, operational knowledge, and forward-looking approach necessary to build upon the foundation that has been established. We are confident in our decision and in the continuity and stability it provides for our employees, members, and communities. While leadership transitions, the responsibility of your board does not. We will continue setting clear expectations, asking difficult questions, monitoring performance, protecting the financial strength of your cooperative, and supporting the investments necessary to provide safe, reliable service. We'll also continue looking for opportunities for our electric and fiber operations to work more effectively together and planning not just for the next year, but for the cooperative we want to leave to the next generation of members. That's ultimately what stewardship means. The board members you elect are temporary caretakers of something that belongs to all of you. Our responsibility is to leave White River stronger, prepared for the future, and firmly grounded in the cooperative principles that have served our communities for generations. On behalf of your board of directors, thank you for your trust and the opportunity to serve you. We are proud of what this cooperative has accomplished, confident in the direction we're headed, and grateful to have you alongside us as we begin this next chapter. Thank you.
Thank you, Neil. We appreciate you and the board for serving our cooperative. Now, our members are excited about the opportunity to have reliable, high-speed fiber internet. I have two of our fiber experts joining us, Blake Carruthers, VP and Chief Broadband Officer, and Bobby Mosier, our lead customer support representative. Welcome, and thanks for joining us today, guys. Let's go see what the members want to know about fiber internet.
What is the status of the fiber project?
Just as a customer, I just wonder what kind of customer service we're going to have if we sign up for the internet.
Are there any hidden fees or contracts with your internet?
Okay, so McCrae from Gainesville asks, what's the project status? Blake, you want to take that?
Sure. So our teams have been working very hard, and by the end of September, we plan to have fulfilled our commitment to our membership when our Ava service territory comes online. When we first started this project in June of 2023, we expected this to be a 5-year build-out. And so we are, thanks to the hard work of our employees and contractor partners, we're proud that this project will be coming in under budget and ahead of schedule. We knew that bringing fast, reliable local to our members could not wait.
Well, it's certainly a feat. Everybody's excited about it, and you really don't hear of a lot of projects coming in ahead of schedule and under budget. So it's a great job to the team there for that. Bobby, tell us about customer support.
Yeah, so White River Connect has a US-based tech support team available 24/7, 365 days for customers that are experiencing any internet issues. They can contact us by phone, text, or visit our website.
Okay, well, there are a lot of convenient and accessible options to reach us, and I think this is probably a good time to remind members to download the Connect IQ app if you haven't, to help with all your needs as well. So, Blake, do you want to answer the question about fees and contracts?
Sure. So we have no fees with our service. The price you see is the price you pay. We know that with internet service that you have options, and so we believe that our service is what should keep you around as a customer. So we work very hard every day to earn and keep your trust.
And there's a difference there,
Yes.
and I think we'll hit on that
Yes.
here in a second. Fast, reliable, local service from neighbors you can trust. I love it. We've got a couple more questions, I think. Let's take a look.
Is the internet service available in my area? How much does it cost, and what is the speed?
What investments are being made to improve internet speeds, network capacity, and future technology upgrades?
Okay, one of those is probably the most frequently asked question that we've had of the last 4 years. Is it available in my area? Bobby, do you want to cover that?
Yeah. So White River Connect is available in all of the electric footprint except the Avis service area, and that'll be ready by the end of September.
Great.
So as far as our plans that we offer, we have our 3 different options. We have our 250 megabits per second, our 1 gig, and now our 2 gig service, making us the first internet in the area offering multi-gig service. Our prices are ranging from $69.95 to $99.95 when you enroll in our auto pay and paperless program.
Wow, so fast, reliable service with no contract, and all packages are under $100 is pretty incredible. Question about looking to investments for the future. Blake, help us with that.
Sure. So White River Connect is a company, we're always looking ahead. We're always trying to make sure the future needs of our customers are met. And this past July, we launched our revolutionary upgrade where we nearly doubled the speeds of all of our packages for our current customers at no additional cost. Like Bobby said, we became the first residential multi-gig provider in the area, so that's something we're very proud of. So it's been great.
Well, and we kind of giggle because there were some powdered wigs involved, and I think we all had fun with that, as did the members. Almost 10,000 members have signed up for our local cooperative-owned fiber internet service. And if you haven't signed up yet, you can visit whiteriverconnect.com. There you can pick your packages and get scheduled. And I think here fiber, high-speed fiber, isn't just internet, right? And Blake, we don't have a question queued up from the members here, but we do often get asked, what's the difference in technology from fiber compared to, say, cable or wireless?
Yeah, so really fiber is the gold standard for internet service. When it comes to reliability and speeds, there's nothing really like it. Unlike cable that can get slowed down if it's busy during time, and unlike satellite internet that needs the most perfect sky view, it has to be mounted the right direction. Fiber provides symmetrical speeds that really makes a game-changing difference when you're gaming, streaming, working from home, or just have a house full of connected devices. And in addition to that, I think what makes White River Connect different, as we say, is we're local. When you call us with a problem, you're going to get someone who lives here, works here in the community, and so we wanted to provide not only the best internet service, but also the best customer service.
Well, and one thing that you said about symmetrical speeds, for people that don't know maybe what that means, is whether it's uploading or downloading, your speeds are the same, you're getting that same fast speed all the time. And top technology, low price, fast speed, and local neighbors helping neighbors, that's the difference, right? That's the connect difference. Thank you both for joining us. We appreciate you answering questions today, and thank you, members, for everything you've asked. Now, let's hear from a few more members and get some shout outs to the beautiful country we all love with more prizes. Remember, we are celebrating Red, White, and You. Then, hear the last address from our retiring CEO, Mr. Hammond. We put together a special video with some surprise guests to wish him well, and then we'll be right back for our next discussion here.
Happy 250th birthday to America.
God bless the USA. And happy birthday, America. 250 years, that's a big one.
Amen.
You voted and you won. Congratulations to Tom Grunwald of Ava and James C. Justice of Hollister. You've won a $250 prepaid MasterCard gift card. Keep watching. More winners are on the way.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for White River Valley Electric Cooperative's annual meeting. It's always a privilege to spend time with the people who own this cooperative. Thank you for your trust, your participation, and your commitment, your continued support of White River Electric and our subsidiary, White River Connect. One of the things I appreciate most about annual meeting is the opportunity to talk openly about the things that matter to our members. This year, I'd like to start with something that's generated more than a few phone calls and maybe even a little disbelief. Squirrels. It may sound surprising, but last spring alone, we experienced more than 4,000 squirrel-related outages. That's not an exaggeration. Thousands of times a squirrel made contact with equipment where it shouldn't have, causing protective devices to operate exactly as they were designed and interrupt electric service. When we tell members a squirrel caused an outage, we understand that it may sound almost too simple, but it's the truth. Our members deserve honest answers, even when the answer isn't what anyone expects. Of course, we don't simply accept those outages as unavoidable. We continually analyze outage data, identify recurring trouble spots, and maintain a right-of-way program, evaluate protective equipment, and look for practical ways to reduce animal contact wherever it makes sense. Every outage teaches us something, and every lesson helps us build a stronger electrical system. Whether that outage is severe weather, vegetation, equipment failure, and yes, even squirrels, our commitment never changes. Our responsibility is to restore power safely and as quickly as possible and continue improving the reliability our members expect. That work happens because of an incredible team. Through our communications and engagement efforts, we're able to bring your feedback into the organization and work across departments to keep you informed, from line safety and outage restoration to community programs, growing energy demands, and other issues that affect you. Together with your input, we're working to deliver best-in-class service. Over nearly 4 decades, I've had the privilege of working alongside some of the finest people you'll ever meet. Our line workers, dispatchers, engineers, warehouse personnel, member service representatives, right-of-way crews, accountants, communicators, and every employee across this organization share one common purpose: serving you, our members. They're the one who leave their families during storms. They're the ones answering the phone when members need help. They're the ones working through the night to restore power. They're the reason this cooperative has earned the trust of the communities we serve. If there's one thing that I've learned over the years, it's that strength of this cooperative has never been found in poles, wires, substations, or technology. It's always been the people. This annual meeting is especially meaningful to me because it will be my last before I retire in September the 1st, after 40 years of serving White River Valley Electric Cooperative. When I first began my career, our crews didn't carry tablets or laptops. We didn't have the technology we rely on today to monitor our system, locate outages, or communicate with members. I've had the privilege of watching this cooperative evolve, embrace new technology, and strengthen our electric system, and expand the ways we serve our communities. But through every advancement, every storm, every challenge, and every success, one thing has remained exactly the same: our mission to provide members with safe, reliable, and affordable power while enhancing the lives of those we serve. This means putting our members first. That mission has guided every decision we've made, and I'm confident it will continue to guide this cooperative long after I retire. I leave with tremendous confidence in this board of directors, our employees, and in the leadership that will carry this cooperative forward. I am confident in the cooperative model itself, because when members and employees work together with shared purpose, there's no challenge we can't overcome. As I bring my remarks to a close, I want to take a moment to thank the people who have meant the most to me, my family. First, I want to thank my dad, who taught me, right from wrong and gave me the accountability that I need along the way. I want to thank my first wife, Deanna, for 34 years. She helped me focus on serving this cooperative. We lost her to cancer 7 years ago, and I'll always be grateful for her strength and determination. I also want to thank my kids. They even sat through lineman training week after week. They understood the time I gave to this cooperative. Like every employee's family, they made sacrifices too, and I'm deeply grateful for that. And finally, I want to thank my wife, Amy. When we met 6 years ago, I was simply surviving and burying myself in my career. She helped bring me back to being a better person and a better human being. After dating more than 5 years, we were married last November, and I want to thank her for loving and supporting me. Before I close, I want to say thank you. Thank you for allowing me to spend my career serving you. Thank you for supporting this cooperative through storms, challenges, and change. Most of all, thank you for trusting White River Electric and now White River Connect to serve your homes, your businesses, and your farms and your families. It's truly, truly been the greatest honors, one of the greatest honors of my life. Thank you, and God bless. I started on December the 30th, 1985. When I was hired, I was an engineer in training. The co-op was in a little building that's now our parking lot. We had a peak of about 72 megawatts versus our peak now of 275.
I first met Chris while he was leading the engineering department through the historic Branson growth of the 1990s. And I've always found Chris to be a visionary, looking out for the best of all cooperative members.
White River grew a great deal in 94, 95, and 96. It's when Branson was expanding and we had to add a whole bunch of individuals to keep up with that growth. You know, we were growing to 3.5% to 4% up to that point, but we saw years there was 14, 15, 16%.
I met Chris Hammond in 1992. I was a summer student at AECI, took a little field trip down to White River and met this guy, and he was so animated about what was going on. And I thought to myself, this guy's crazy. He is absolutely crazy. His vision is too big. Well, Chris's vision was right.
When you're growing 12 to 15% a year, you really got to have the facilities to work out of and the equipment to work with. The first building built on this ground for White River was built years and years ago, to where we just kept perpetually adding on. And we ended up building a whole new building that when you look at the usage of our old building was about a megawatt. When we built the new building, it's about 20,000 square feet more, and it uses a third of that 1 megawatt now. Several of the challenges over the years here at White River have come in seasons. You're always challenged with weather. You're always challenged with new folks coming in tourism, but you're also challenged with the fact of where we are on a national basis. Do you have enough power supply? Is the EPA going to affect your power supply? We went out and actually had people sign cards, and there was a contest across the United States. We came in second to all of the big co-ops that are out there, and the members of White River really stepped up, just like they always do, to let our congressmen, our senators, the president know that what was going on with the EPA and shutting our power plants down was not good for us. The tornado in Branson was a shocker. The interesting thing that had happened with White River, we had several loops built around the city of Branson for reliability. When the tornado came down the strip, it hurt a lot. And it took out a bunch of our line. But the interesting thing is we got all ours on in 8 hours because we had these loops already built around the city of Branson. Over the years, White River has been approached by its membership in the fact that communications in some of our outside areas are very lacking. Why don't you guys do whatever all these other cooperatives have done and have fiber to the home? And we really realized this during COVID as well. We were having people come to our offices and sit in the parking lot and for their kids to do homework. So this really became important to our board of directors. So we started in and designed it and literally built a #1 Class A system that will serve our community for years to come. What I think my best accomplishment was keeping it together in the times that we were stressed so much, in storms, in COVID, in times of battling the EPA. I think keeping it together to where everybody understood that we could lean on each other and lean in to each other was very, very important to me. The membership of this electric cooperative is pretty neat. Matter of fact, it's why I get up out of bed and got here for over 40 years. I remember my boss in the first week that I went to work at White River took me to a log cabin, and there's a lady on what I perceived to be her front porch sweeping with a straw broom. Well, it was a dirt porch and her house was a dirt floor. And she used every month 50 kilowatt hours because that's what come free with the bill. At that point, first 50 kilowatt hours were free. And she watched her meter every day until she got close to that, and then she unscrewed the one light bulb that she had on in her house. That's why I know that price is very important to our membership. Quality is very important to our membership. And it's just very, very important to understand who your member is, what's important to them, communicate to them, and then listen to them. So one of the things that kind of was reinvented was having what we call member appreciation days. And it gives opportunities for our members to come in and sit with our directors, ask questions, see our wonderful employees at work. It's important that these people see who serves them.
I think that the biggest way that Chris has set up White River for the future is with the team that he's built, the team that he's leaving behind, and that's a big part of his legacy.
We have some of the best and brightest individuals that work at White River, period, lock, stock, and barrel. I couldn't do anything that I've done over the past years been away from the cooperative, serving Missouri, serving the nation, had it not been for the employees of this place doing what they all are good at doing. There is a fire that burns inside of all employees to do what's right for the membership. It's important because we are not serving meters, we are serving members.
When thinking about Chris Hammond, the word that comes to mind is legend in the industry. When I go to conferences, to trainings with White River, I'm amazed at the number of people that not just know Chris, are impressed with Chris, admire Chris, respect Chris. His name is not just known in the area, it's known in the industry. He has dedicated his life to White River and the co-op industry.
Chris Hammond, in his leadership, his ability to think about programs and ways to use technology and things that were always cutting edge and ahead of everybody else has helped to keep White River Electric at the forefront and leading the rest of the cooperatives in the nation.
Not only have we been the leader, but people look up to us for what we do here. And not only what we do, but how we do it. And you know, frankly, that's what our members expect.
I've seen his service beyond the co-op here at NRECA, where he was on our board from the state of Missouri. Chris headed up our international committee and was always passionate about the mission of our international program. He's a great communicator. In fact, he was acknowledged with the J.C. Brown Communications Award among CEOs, and that really says something.
I traveled a lot. I worked on several boards to where I worked out of the region, and I have received several awards. None of that really matters. And what I mean by that is that I still get on my phone and I still look at how many outages we have. I look where our folks are, where the trucks are, and that they come home safe every day to their families. That's what's been important to us, to be the most cost-effective, quality, safest electric cooperative we can be.
Chris Hammond has left his mark and a legacy on the co-op that will forever shape who we are today.
Well, Chris has been such a great example of what is great about leadership in the cooperative community. He's always embraced looking for new ideas, new ways to get better, never just sitting back on his laurels. Chris, you're a great example. White River Valley is a better place for your service.
I want to thank Chris Hammond for everything he's done for the cooperative program, but especially for his representation of Missouri at the NRECA as a director. Chris, we're going to miss you. Congratulations.
Well, Chris, you finally made it. Congratulations on your retirement. On behalf of all the co-ops in the state of Missouri, I just want to thank you for all that you did for our success. You have played a pivotal role in the future of what our co-ops deliver to our members.
Chris, thank you for your service and leadership, not just for the members of White River, but nationwide. And from everyone at Show Me, thank you for your leadership and your support. We wish you the best in retirement. I hope you have many years of joy and happiness.
Chris, you know, you've put in a lot of years. You've traveled lots of miles. Enjoy your retirement. Enjoy the time away from here that you don't have lots of worries on your plate.
I want to pray, and we all pray together and bless this place, because I think a lot of lives can be touched through this whole new building and our efforts. So let's bless the building here.
I think if you ask Chris, it was never a job. It was his lifestyle. He dedicated his life to the co-op, and we've just been blessed enough to have him for as long as we have.
When you work at White River, it's about what serving with your heart. And I had other opportunities to leave White River, and I'm a Christian man with a lot of beliefs, and I believe that God kept me here for a reason. I figured this is where He wanted me to be, and sometimes that was really hard to swallow, because I really wanted to be a G&T manager at some point. But God wanted me here for a reason. And I needed to serve my wife, who was ill at the time, and then to serve my family as I've rebuilt that after she's gone. But this is where God felt that I needed to be, to serve the members of White River, because they were the family that I needed to get through this. It's not so much I'm afraid to retire, I'm going to miss everybody. I'm going to miss the co-op. Even though I get to still vote for everybody, I will miss the co-op.
Thanks again, Chris. This place certainly wouldn't be where it is without you. As you heard, one of the things Chris was big about, all things outages. Our members, you, have asked some questions about that too. And I have two of our in-house gurus here to help answer some more of your questions. Welcome from our Stone County office, journeyman lineman Kyle Copeland and dispatcher Ashley Wilson. Let's see what the members want to know.
Well, I was wondering, how does the co-op respond to major storms or emergencies?
How do I report and track an outage?
So Kyle, let's give the members a peek behind the scenes of a big storm and that restoration process.
Sure. So outage restoration really just starts with preparation. Just like a lot of our members may prepare for a storm at home, we do the same thing, and we just watch the weather, check the forecast. If the weatherman says there's a storm brewing, then that's whenever we start getting ready. A lot of that just looks like taking care of the stuff that we can control before an outage hits. That just means making sure our trucks are clean, don't have any previous job material or anything on them. We got all the material and equipment that we might need to address any issues that we come up with on the storm. Making sure our rigs are fueled up, not going to run out of gas in the process. Chainsaws are ready if we got to cut trees off the line, anything like that. After we've done everything that we can to prepare, then we just wait. If the storm comes through and starts tearing stuff up, one of the great resources we have is the technology that we have at our fingertips. It a lot of times just tells us exactly where, how many people are out. It reports outages very quickly. A lot of times we'll know that there's an outage before the member has time to even call in. That doesn't mean we don't want people to call in. We still want you to call in just so nobody gets missed in the process by chance, but just know that there's a good chance we're already working on it. After that happens, if there's outages reported, dispatch will call us, whether we're at home or already at work. We're going to show up, quit what we're doing, and we're going to start addressing what we need to address to get people's power back on. The first thing that we do, again, comes back to that technology. We'll look at our iPads, and we will basically be told where we need to start. A lot of it is just looking at the biggest number of outages on the system, and we know that we want to get the most people back with power that we can as quickly and safely as possible, so that's really where we start. We'll pick the outage with the most people on it, and we'll go to that energy source location, find where it's at. And one of the first things we do is we put a wrap around that pole and tag it just to let other people know, any line workers that are working in the area, that there's a crew on that line so they know not to try and energize it for any reason without making contact with somebody. Another thing we'll do is we'll make sure that there's an open point, make sure there's no way that that line is going to, for some reason, try and energize itself again. So once we've done that, the next step is just trying to find the outage. We'll start driving out the line. We'll split up. If we've got multiple crews on that specific outage, we'll split up and we'll just start looking at everything. We'll try and find where the issue is. Some of those issues can be a broken poles, multiple. There could be a tree that fell through the line. Could be wire down that we've got to put back up in the air. It could be an issue with a transformer. There could be a blown lightning arrestor. Could be just storm debris on a transformer. There's a lot of different things that can cause an outage, especially in a storm. So we're just trying to identify that and just take care of it. Now, some things go back up and get power back on quicker than others. If it's just a transformer issue, a lot of times we can just de-energize that transformer and just heat the line back up and then deal with it afterwards. But if it's a broke pole, it's going to take some more time. It's something that we may have to bring in some more people for. So we understand that it can be a frustrating process being out of power. I've been there, got little kids, and I understand that they get antsy, and there's different things that you want your power for. We're going to try and get you back as quickly as we can, but we're going to do it in a safe way that sends everybody home at the end of the night. So once we finish that specific outage, the next thing is just go down the list, find the next one that's got the most number of people on it, and we just keep going until the power's back on. Sometimes it takes a while. Again, we understand that's frustrating, but we're going to do it as quickly as we can. And if it's something that we don't think we can do as quickly as we think is necessary, then one of the things that we have at our fingertips is mutual aid. We can call in another electric cooperative or cooperatives, and they'll send crews down. And they'll just help us. We'll work together, make sure we do it in a safe way, make sure everybody knows who's working where, and we'll just knock it out together. And that's just one of the great things that we have available to us just to get the power back on for you guys.
And safe, quick as possible, and that that cooperation among cooperatives. It's not a coincidence, right? It's our sixth principle. That's an action when we need it, and we help others too. So thanks for sharing about that. So Ashley, Mr. Bradford asked us about outage reporting. Take that one.
I would say the fastest and quickest or easiest way to report it is through Smart Hub. The app makes it super simple, and when you're reporting, there's actually a comment box, and that's where you can put in the broken poles, the trees on lines, the squirrels, like Chris mentioned. And that kind of helps them while they're driving out the outage. Maybe it'll help get it on faster, or at least know what to bring. You could also do it when you call in, and just like the comment box, there's a voicemail.
Okay.
Same thing that's used for. We listen to those in dispatch and then let the guys know. That way it can hopefully narrow it down and speed up that restoration.
Yeah, well, in that process of reporting on Smart Hub, right from your phone, takes less than a minute. Then it's tied to your specific address. I'm sure that's helpful. And we keep members informed with the outage map on our website. We give status updates regularly on Facebook. And as you said, members can still report through our 800 number. I think the big takeaway here is that reliable power is just what we do, right? So when something interrupts it, we want members to know we're just a call away, ready to respond. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Ashley. And thank you, members, for your questions. I'm glad you're still with us. We're more than halfway through the program and still a lot of good things coming up. You're going to meet our new CEO, get answers about power demands and, of course, election results. But first, let's cover the finances, and I'll hand it over to our board vice president after a couple more prizes.
God bless America in another 250 years.
White River Valley Electric Co-op has been powering my family for generations.
Proud to call the Ozarks home.
And proud to be part of the USA.
Thanks for voting and taking part in your cooperative. Congratulations to Ed Mallert of Kimberling City and Pamela E. Ware of Theodosia. You've won a $250 prepaid MasterCard gift card. More winners are coming up soon.
Thank you, Cassie, and thank you for joining the business meeting today. As in previous years, meeting minutes, officer reports, and financial documents were published well in advance and in accordance with our bylaws. As your Vice President, I'm pleased to report that the White River Valley Electric Board of Directors continues to closely oversee the cooperative's financial position. We review financials each month, and an independent annual audit is performed by Forvis, a certified public accounting firm. The auditors submitted their findings to the Board of Directors following their review of our 2025 operations and cash flows, reporting no discrepancies and conformity with U.S. General Accepted Accounting Principles. You can access our 2025 financial information in several ways. In our official meeting notice published in the July Rural Missouri, through the members-only portal in Smart Hub, on the annual meeting page of our website, and in the 2025 annual report you received last month, which includes financial highlights. Strong financial stewardship means balancing the needs of today with the long-term needs of your cooperative. We continually review cost, equity, and our overall financial position to make sure they align with our strategic plan and keep White River financially strong. That includes continued investment in our electric system to maintain reliability and meet the needs of our growing communities, while also returning capital to our members when the cooperative's financial position allows. This year, we returned $4.07 million in capital credits to our members. We appreciate your trust and encourage you to contact us anytime with questions about the cooperative's financial reports. Thank you.
Thank you, Lyle. And you touched on a couple of topics, and we heard some of the same questions asked during our Member Appreciation Days. Let's go to the members to see specifically what they want to know.
How are our electric rates set?
What is capital credit?
And when and how are they returned to members?
Great questions. I'm here with Dustin Price, Manager of Office Operations, and Courtney Minier, Senior Accountant, to get us some details. So, Dustin, walk us through the rate setting process.
You bet. So in order to set electric rates, the cooperative does what's called a cost of service study. In that, the team will look at expected costs for the upcoming year. That could be anything from admin costs to debt payments, taxes, electricity costs, and more are used in that calculation. We also forecast the amount of usage that our members may use in the upcoming year by basing that on expected demand, weather, and area growth. And then lastly, we determine the revenue that's needed in order to cover those costs and keep our cooperative stable.
Well, and I think what's important for members to know is that the rates are set to cover costs and special investments. It's not for excess revenue.
Exactly.
And Courtney, I think you can help us there. The Clarks asked about capital credits. Tell us more.
Sure. So capital credits for members are basically their share of what is left over after all those operating costs, as Dustin mentioned, or just any other financial obligation is met. Then at the end of that, if whatever is left over from that year, like the margin, is later reallocated back to members based on the amount of electricity they used in that given year. Then, as Lyle mentioned, if the co-op is able, we return those capital credits in July, and current members should see a credit on their bill, and past members should receive a mailed check.
Mail check. Okay. Well, and just to connect the dots there, because we sometimes get asked questions, if rates are going up, then why are you returning capital credits? And I think the key here is that these represent two different points in time. So rates are set based on what it costs to provide reliable electric service today and into the future, whereas capital credits being returned today represent margins that were assigned to members in previous years. So returning capital doesn't mean that today's cost of providing service has gone down. It simply means the cooperative is financially strong enough to return a portion of that previously allocated capital to its member owners, and while we're still meeting today's financial and operational needs. And that cooperative model has returned real value. Since 2010, White River has returned $51.6 million in capital credits to our members, including over $4 million this year alone that Lyle mentioned a bit ago. And that's one of the important differences between simply being a utility customer and being a member owner of your cooperative. Thank you to our members for your questions. Thank you, Dustin and Courtney, for giving us the answers that they need. And really, as we look at what it means to serve our members today, we're also looking ahead to the future of White River. Now, this year marks an important transition for our cooperative as we prepare to welcome our next CEO. Before we hear from him, we'd like to take a moment to introduce you to the next leader who will guide us, White River, into the future. Check out this video.
The job of the board to find a new CEO, I mean, that's the biggest job I think the board of directors will ever have to make, perhaps.
Our co-op is dependent upon our CEO to keep us moving forward.
It's been 26 plus years since any board at White River went through a hiring process for CEO. I think each member on the board took that very seriously.
We had an idea of what we wanted, the type of skills that we needed, and somebody that would fit into our community, somebody that already had leadership experience within cooperatives.
We narrowed it to 6 candidates.
We had very good applicants. We had very good interviews.
And the interviews were grueling. It was over a 3-day period.
We knew it was going to be a tough decision.
We finally came down to the place of selecting Bo Jackson as the new CEO to lead us into the future here at White River Electric Cooperative.
Our family, we lived in Louisiana, and we used to make trips up here all the time and loved the Ozark Mountains.
It was my parents' favorite destination. Silver City, Whitewater, the shows, and one day they decided to, hey, that's where we want to live. I was around 13 or 14 when we moved up here.
Bo, even as a young boy, always wanted to be a football player. That was his dream, professional football player. And he had the skills to do it.
I always had a passion for it. I was always competitive. I liked to race. I liked the physicality of football. Didn't realize it at the time. My experience in sports, you learn so much about, with life lessons, teamwork, dedication it takes to win, and I carry those life lessons with me now.
Bo really wanted to make his career in football with college, and he had quite a few offers.
So after high school, I went to Southwest Missouri State. I didn't know what I was wanting to do, really what to study, anything. It just wasn't a priority for me. I knew I'd figure it out, but really my focus was, going playing football. I was there, I think, a year and a half until I transferred to Evangel. Evangel was a great program back then. SMS wasn't so much, and so I wanted to get back on the winning team.
So Bo and I met in college.
It wasn't very long I was on campus at Evangel. It might have been a week or two when I first saw Michelle. She got my attention, and I remember thinking, man, I'd like to meet her.
Bo was one of the nicest guys that I had ever met, and he was so respectful and kind. We started dating in January, and then we ended up getting engaged in November, and he actually took me to Silver Dollar City, and the Christmas lights were on, and I was totally surprised.
So we've been married for 23 years.
And we have 2 children, Aubrey, who just turned 21, and Kirk, who is 18.
I really grew up a lot at Evangel University, started getting serious about my school. I'd be lying if I didn't have aspirations to go play at another level, but knew that that was a slim possibility. So I started really focusing on, what happens after college.
After Bo graduated with his business degree, the first thing he wanted to do was start a business of his own.
When we lived in Louisiana, my dad had his own business, just him and a helper and van and HVAC services.
One of the high points in my life is when he told me, he says, let's go into business together.
So the name of our company was D&B HVAC Systems. D stands for David, B stands for Bo.
Bo was the business side of it, and David was the HVAC side of it.
What I've learned from my dad is to treat everybody with respect, fair, and showing that you care.
We worked together at first, just me and him, which was a good time. I mean, here I had my son with me working in a business that we were trying to build up. One of the first customers that we had was White River Electric.
And I was over the business side of things, the business administration, HR, putting estimates together and looking over engineer plans. And so I had a lot of experience of working with the engineers who designed these plans. And then I got to a point where I felt like, man, I can do this, better.
So Bo came to me one day and told me that he wanted to pursue a degree in electrical engineering.
Big risk, had a family, still trying to build a business, but ultimately it was a now or never decision.
At that time, we had a 3-year-old and a newborn when he started engineering school, and he was still working at D&B at that time.
Before I did ultimately decide to go to engineering school and the University of Arkansas, I called Chris Hammond up. He was a EE Major 2 electrical engineer, and just asked him, hey, what am I getting myself into? And I remember Chris was just, had that look and, asked like, are you sure you want to do this?
I don't know how he did it.
I learned that Bo is very determined, and when he puts his mind to something, he is going to do it 100%. And I never felt like he put his family last, even though he was really busy with school and work. we were still a priority.
So back then, we were having our annual meetings at the old Mel Tillis Theater. We were at the annual meeting, had a booth, and I was there representing D&B HVAC Systems. And Chris will come by and check in on me, like, hey, where you at with school? How's it going? I was within my last year, maybe last semester, he asked, for me to come in to his office one day to come talk to him. I just said yes, of course, and then met with him. And he said, what are your thoughts about coming working for White River? And it really hit me because it never crossed my mind. I was going back to engineering school and all this for our family business. But I remember, thinking it's a great opportunity. It was one of the toughest conversations I had with my dad.
I said, look, there's nothing certain right now in life with our business, but that's a pretty good job to consider. I knew that he had a future there, career that I don't know if I could have gave him that.
So I started at White River on August 1st, 2012. I love the cooperative model and the idea that, we come here every day to serve our members. And so there was meaning to what we were doing.
Moving forward with White River and White River Connect, we felt it important to have one CEO over Bo. Bo's experience with White River, the co-op side, and then the last 3.5, 4 years with Connect, building it up from ground zero to where we are now. We felt like this put him in a great position and he was the right choice to lead over both.
Bo has a lot of quality characteristics that you don't find in people anymore. He genuinely cares about people.
The thing about Bo Jackson is he is a very driven individual. I think from his past on the football field, but he's also a team player.
One of the things I always tell him is that you're gonna have to think faster. He goes, no, I'm thinking thorough. And when Bo makes a decision, it's generally right on time and on target.
Bo always thinks about the big picture. He's always trying to think about how it's going to affect not just himself, but others.
We live in a changing world and technologies are changing fast, and I believe that with Bo at the helm of the ship helping to guide us through those times, that he's one that'll be able to meet those challenges and help us to come out on top in a way that's better for all of our members.
Bo and I love this area that we live in. There's so many great opportunities. We love being outdoors, going to the lake, playing golf, just enjoying nature in the beautiful Ozarks.
I've always lived in the rural communities, grew up on a cooperative, even when I was growing up in Louisiana. And so it's truly an honor being selected for this. I mean, Chris has had an everlasting impact on this cooperative. It's profound. Filling those shoes, I don't take it lightly. This is one of the most interesting times in being in this industry. A lot of challenges, a lot of risk. I've always liked challenges. I don't like it going into it by myself, but I really like going into having challenges with a great team, and that's what we have here. And that's what I'm excited about, is what I can bring to the table in this role, in this capacity, bringing those services together and working in a way that's going to bring more value to our membership. My heart's in it. I'm fully committed, and I'm just looking forward to what the future holds. Thank you. After watching that, I'm incredibly humbled. It is truly an honor to stand before you today as the next CEO of White River Valley Electric Cooperative and our fiber subsidiary, White River Connect. I want to begin by thanking our board of directors for their confidence, our employees for everything they do each day, and our members for the opportunity to serve you. I also like to recognize Chris Hammond. For the 40 years, Chris has dedicated his career to this cooperative, and all of us benefit today from the leadership, the integrity, and steady commitment he has brought to White River Valley Electric. Thank you, Chris, for building a strong foundation for all of us. As I look toward the future, one thing is clear. This cooperative does not belong to me. It doesn't belong to our employees. It belongs to you, our members. My responsibility and the responsibility of every employee at White River is to be good stewards of something that's been built over generations. The energy industry is changing faster than it has in decades. Demand for electricity continues to grow. Technology continues to evolve. The expectations of our members continue to grow. The way we generate, deliver, and manage electricity is changing before our eyes. Those changes bring challenges, but they also create tremendous opportunity. Our job isn't to predict every change. Our job is to prepare for it. We've already seen what thoughtful investment and long-term planning can accomplish through White River Connect. What began as an effort to bring reliable, high-speed internet to our members has grown into an important part of how we serve our communities and position this cooperative for the future. As we move forward, our focus will be on ensuring the continued success of both White River Valley Electric and White River Connect. A strong fiber subsidiary creates opportunities to strengthen our communities, support economic development, improve the way we operate and serve members, which all creates long-term value for the cooperative as a whole. We'll approach these opportunities the same way we approach our electric business, with discipline, good data, thoughtful planning, and a clear understanding that every decision must support the long-term strength of the organization and the members we serve. That means making thoughtful and sound investments, using data to make better decisions, planning for long-term financial strength, protecting the reliability, supporting responsible growth across the communities we serve, and always keeping our focus where it belongs, on our members. One thing you'll hear me talk about often is listening. The best decisions come from understanding the people we serve. We'll continue listening to our members, listening to our employees, and listening to our communities. When we understand their needs, we make better decisions. You'll also hear me talk about innovation, not just because technology is exciting, but because innovation should make life better for our members, whether that's improving reliability, responding faster to outages, enhancing communication, or delivering better service. Technology is simply a tool to help us fulfill our mission. Just as important is our culture. Every interaction a member has with White River begins with one of our employees. That's why investing in our people matters. When employees are well trained, supported, and empowered to do their jobs well, our members receive the exceptional service they deserve. As we move forward together, we'll continue focus on reliable service, responsible stewardship, financial strength, innovation that creates value, and a culture centered on serving our members with excellence. The future will undoubtedly bring new opportunities and new challenges, but I believe we are positioned well for both. While our industry may continue to change, the principles that define this cooperative never will. We'll continue putting our members first. We'll continue serving our communities. We'll continue planning for the long term, and we'll continue working every day to earn the trust you have placed in us. Thank you for the opportunity to serve as your CEO. I'm excited about the future, and I'm honored to begin this next chapter together. Thank you.
Happy birthday, America.
Happy 250th birthday, America.
I'm very proud to be an American. This country's given us so much liberty, and we have so much to be thankful for. The Lord has blessed this country.
Congratulations to our final winners of the day. Kathy Mead of Squires, Pat McCarthy of Branson, and Vincent E. Herndon of Reed Spring. You've won a $250 prepaid MasterCard gift card. Congratulations.
Thank you, Bo. We're excited about what's ahead, and you touched on several issues our members are thinking about too: growth, reliability, and preparing for future energy needs. So let's bring in a couple more of our White River experts for our final round of member questions. I'm here with Ross Allen, Technical Services Supervisor, and Darian Caesar, Marketing and Communications Specialist. Welcome. Let's see what members are asking.
I know that White River buys all their electricity. What is your feeling about data centers coming to your area here that you all serve?
My question is, how is the cooperative preparing for increased energy demands and future growth in our area?
Okay, Mr. Turner asked about data centers, and this has been a hot topic, so I'll jump in on this one. We get asked a lot. Here's what members need to know. Our position is always responsible growth. We can't pick and choose among lawful businesses. That's not our place. But any large project, not just data centers, absolutely must make sense for our co-op and the members. So first and foremost, our existing members will not subsidize the cost, and reliability will not be compromised. The necessary infrastructure costs for things like that they're generally funded by the project owner, and we do extensive engineering, financial, and operational studies. All of those would take place well before anything moves forward, and that's our commitment. That's our commitment to you. We want people to understand that if studies are vetted properly, everything checks out, there are economic benefits. Let me explain. A large, consistent, year-round electric load can help to balance. We have a highly seasonal system, and that reduces pressure on future costs, which, here's the kicker, helps minimize future rate increases. So if studies are verified, the project is safe and sustainable, it's a big opportunity for cost savings. But again, our approach is to evaluate any project fairly. We're going to do our due diligence and make sure any growth protects reliability, financial strength, and the long-term interest of you, our members. Now, Ross, in a similar lens, asking about increased energy demand and future growth. Walk us through that.
So no doubt, this area of the Ozarks has seen a major increase in population. After all, it's a great place to live and work. Like you said, we are focused on sustainable growth and also trying to be the most reliable. Our power supplier, Associated Electric Cooperative, they are building new generation facilities so they can keep up with current and future growth. Some of the ways that we have increased kind of in growth areas, especially around our Joe Bald Road area north of Kimberling City. This year we finished a large upgrade of that substation, and that was all in case just to provide for the current future or current needs and also the future needs. So.
Well, and I know everybody was appreciative of that, and it's something that we've been looking at for a while. I want to grab a few more questions, and then Darian, we'll hear from you next.
What energy sources power our electricity?
What are the biggest challenges facing the electric grid today, and how is our cooperative addressing them?
How can I improve energy efficiency and lower my bills?
Darian, walk us through power sources for Kevin and the rest of our members.
Yeah, absolutely. So our power is generated by Associated Electric Cooperative out of Springfield, Missouri. They provide power to not only White River Valley Electric Cooperative, but to 56 other regional and local electric cooperatives. Our power mix is coal, hydro, wind, and natural gas. And what's great about Associated is they use the lowest cost power generation resources first. So that means that we can keep our electricity reliable, and we can also keep it as affordable as possible for our members.
Key points: diverse mix for reliability, lowest cost resources first. Check.
Yep.
Right? So Ted Martin, he asked about challenges facing the grid and how we're preparing. Ross, give this a little more color.
Sure. There are several things that are affecting the grid right now. One is our aging infrastructure, increased growth, and also government regulations. One way that we are investing in new and kind of upgrading our existing technologies, especially in the areas of our advanced metering, our protective equipment, and also we're starting to utilize drones. And all these are in trying to make our outage detection quicker, assess storm damage, and increase the reliability. In addition to what we're doing, our power suppliers are doing a lot of the same things. They're looking for more efficient ways and also to add capacity so we can meet the needs of our members in the future.
That collective effort, the forecasting, the research, investing in the system, it's all proactive, right? And how we tackle the road ahead. So our last question comes to us from Gainesville. Darian, tell our members about energy efficiency and lowering the bill.
Yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of ways that you can improve energy efficiency in your home, but a few of the easy ones from the top of my head would be to turn lights off when you leave a room, unplug electronics you're not using. Regularly changing your HVAC filters really helps. And sealing gaps by your windows and doors so that you can keep your heated or cooled air where it belongs. We also offer energy audits. What happens during an energy audit is an auditor will come into your home and they will test it for ways that it's leaking energy. And then they will create recommendations for energy efficiency upgrades that you can make. Once you've done an audit, we offer rebates for those energy efficiency improvements that you make in your home, which can make it more affordable. If our members are interested in a rebate or an audit, they can reach out to our Energy Services Coordinator.
Specialist, yes, Energy Services.
She'd be happy to help you.
Well, thank you, Darian. And I think that's just a good point. There's a lot of money available there for rebates that members can use, and that's what it's for. We want them to use that and be more efficient in their home, and everybody enjoys saving money. So thank you, Darian. Thank you, Ross. Thank you all again for submitting your questions. We appreciate the opportunity to answer them, keep you informed, all things your cooperative. Now, many of you have been waiting for this moment. It's time for our 2026 election results. I'll turn it over to General Counsel to cover the election proceedings and deliver the results live.
Thank you, Cassie. The call for board candidates was made in the May edition of the Rural Missouri magazine. Detailed information was included in the July edition of the Rural Missouri about the director candidates and bylaw amendments so you could make an educated vote. Board members spend significant time preparing and attending monthly board, committee, and association meetings. On average, board members spend about 25 hours a month on cooperative-related business. The director nominating process is also set forth in our bylaws. There are two ways to be nominated. First, you can apply and proceed through the nominating committee. Second, you can become a petition candidate by obtaining 15 qualified signatures. Candidates coming through the nominating committee are vetted and are interviewed by the committee. Petition candidates simply have their qualifications confirmed. They're not interviewed. The 9-member nominating committee organized on May 22nd this year. They reviewed all the written materials submitted by the candidates who applied. The committee then interviewed all the application candidates. There were 5 candidates in all who submitted applications for 3 board seats up for election this year in Stone, Christian, and Ozark County districts. After the interview process, the committee deliberated and selected candidates for member consideration, ranking the candidates in order of preference and strength. The nominating committee minutes were included with your July issue of Rural Missouri. The slate of candidates that have been nominated by the committee this year and who stand for election are District A, Stone County, John Cooper. District C, Christian County, Jeff Hyatt and Michael Missioner. District E, Ozark County, Jim Britt and Brandon Plashka. This is how your full slate of board candidates was formed for this year's vote. Thank you to the nominating committee for volunteering and devoting time to this important election process. In addition to the slate of candidates, 3 bylaw amendments were proposed for a vote of the membership. The First Amendment better defines the cooperative's governing documents referenced during the membership process, improving transparency and understanding for our members. The Second Amendment further clarifies the board term limits approved by the membership in 2019 by establishing a clear maximum of 21 total years of service, ensuring the bylaw reflects the original intent approved by the membership. The Third Amendment formally authorizes the use of electronic notices, signatures, and communications for cooperative business when selected by the member. The proposed amendments seek to provide additional clarity, consistency, and efficiency for the cooperative and its membership. Next, I would like to introduce Mr. Chris Massman from our statewide Association of Missouri Electric Cooperatives to share more about this year's election process and the steps utilized to keep our elections fair and secure. He will then deliver our election results. Chris?
Thank you, Christian, and good morning. My name is Chris Massman with the Association of Missouri Electric Cooperatives, and our association, along with our partners, Powerful Web Cooperative, once again handled the proceedings for the 2026 White River Valley Electric Cooperative annual election. The 2026 election once again held online in the Smart Hub app and with the option to request an absentee ballot. Online voting was open from August 3rd through August 14th, and we once again had a great voter turnout. In fact, we set a new voter record. Before voting, members were required to verify their identity using the following 2 data points: their membership number and unique PIN number. Once these identifiers were confirmed, members were able to gain access to the ballot on the secure website or given the opportunity to request an absentee ballot. The absentee ballots were printed on watermarked paper and came with specific return instructions. To ensure each member was only allowed 1 vote, we used a digital membership database which electronically marked each member once they voted online or made the request for the absentee ballot. Once voting closed, we compiled the results of the online and absentee votes and got the following voting numbers and election results. There were a total of 2,553 online votes and 58 absentee votes for an overall total of 2,611 votes, which is again a new voter record for White River Valley. Thank you for taking the time to vote in this year's elections. I will now deliver our election results. In District A, Stone County, John Cooper received 1,994 votes, making him the winner, and he will serve a 3-year term. In District C, Christian County, Jeff Hyatt received 1,458 votes, and Michael Missioner received 518, making the winner Jeff Hyatt, who will serve a 3-year term. In District E, Ozark County, Jim Britt received 1,562 votes, and Brandon Platchka received 420, making the winner Jim Britt, who will also serve a 3-year term. On Amendment 1, the requirements for membership, yes votes were 2,202, no votes were 242. The bylaw amendment passes. On Amendment 2, on term limits, there were 2,264 yes votes, 229 no votes, meaning the bylaw also passes. And finally, on Amendment 3, electronic documents and action, we received 2,139 yes votes, 327 no votes, meaning this bylaw also passes. Congratulations to our winning candidates, and thank you for voting. White River's attorney will now verify your election results.
Very good. Thank you, Chris. As legal counsel for the Cooperative Board, I have confirmed the integrity of our election process and attest the verified results. We will now adjourn the business portion of the meeting and send it back to Cassie.
Well, I think that makes it official. Congratulations to elected directors. Thank you to every member who took the time to vote and make your voice heard, ensuring the continued efficient operations of your co-op. Congratulations as well to all of today's winners. Thank you to our panelists, youth tour members, everyone who submitted their questions and helped make this meeting possible today. You've heard us talk a lot about the future, growth, reliability, affordability, and continuing to improve the way that we serve you. And through it all, your voice matters. Your questions, survey responses, conversations, calls, your comments, they all help us understand what matters to you, and they guide us through how we plan and how we serve. I think that's a fitting way to wrap up our Red, White, and U celebration, because the U really is what the cooperative model is all about. For 87 years, White River has been here to serve the people and communities we call home. A whole lot has changed, and there's more change on the road ahead, but our commitment remains the same to you: safe, reliable, affordable service from a cooperative you can count on. And remember, as we said earlier, whenever you need us, White River is just a click or call away. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day, and we will see you next year.